Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a first impressions and mini review of the new Dark Souls Remastered based on my experience with the Dark Souls network test, which happened just about last week. So as it is now, it's slated to release on PS4 and Xbox One on May 25th with a release for the Nintendo Switch at a later date. So the network test had you playing in the Undead Parish, which is one of the first areas in the whole game, and they wanted to note that it's one of the first areas that you could have tested way back in the day years ago at E3. So I thought that was kind of a special touch on From Software's part. And all in all, as far as I could see from just running through the Undead Parish, it looks like they put a really nice coat of paint on the graphics. It looks ready for a next generation console or a really nice gaming PC. The colors were brighter, and I noticed that you can really appreciate the small, minute details in the setting very nicely. So I'm actually playing a parallel playthrough on my Xbox 360 right now. So that's the original version, and then when I did the test, I could really notice the graphical differences. So on the Xbox 360 version that I was playing, I noticed the graphics were hazy, which it definitely wasn't as crisp as what you would get in a new generation system. However, I do think that it adds to the overall feeling of the game. It adds some atmosphere that they really took out in the new one. So that's something to take a look at. I'd say quality-wise, it's better in the new one, but the little bit of that misty feeling that you got playing Dark Souls 1 on an older system, that will pretty much be eliminated. So as far as gameplay goes, because I started the series with Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3, I definitely notice a difference between the gameplay of those new games and the Dark Souls 1 Remastered. So for instance, Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne, it feels very responsive. You get omnidirectional rolling. It's great. I just, as a player and as a lover of action games, I really like the smoother feel of the new ones. In Dark Souls 1 Remastered, I know that they didn't necessarily have to go for an improved gameplay, but I feel that it was a missed opportunity on their part. So for example, I wished that you could get the omnidirectional rolling or that they'd fix a few of the bugs. Now, all in all, I do feel that it's more responsive. Playing it on my PS4 felt so right. I didn't feel weighted down like I do in the Xbox 360 sometimes, and have been times where I've been playing a boss on the Xbox 360 version where I feel like I will do a roll command and then the system itself won't respond for a few seconds. And as you know, with a boss in these games, if it takes a few seconds, that could mean the difference between you being alive and you being dead on that boss. So with the PS4, I'm very pleased with how responsive the controls are. I think that was a great improvement and a really good way to go for this remaster. I also think though that if they had taken some time to improve the gameplay, add more of a Dark Souls 3 feel or add things like omnidirectional rolling, it would appeal not only to returning players who want a new experience, but also brand new players who are frankly used to more responsive games. I do feel like it's a missed opportunity at that point because people in this new era of gaming are used to having very smooth controls. So having something that's a little bit more weighted, like the old Dark Souls 1 style, it is noticeable, especially for someone like me who started with the later games and want to kind of move down and finally experience Dark Souls 1. So as far as the network test went, to be honest, summoning always failed for me. I'm not sure if it's because so many people happen to have been playing at that time, so that's a very valid concern and that's something that is likely why it failed, but it was a little bit frustrating. So I wonder if that's something that they might be fixing or just a problem with the fact that so many people were playing the network test at once that summoning kept failing. However, I do say that PvP worked perfectly. I was invaded several times. You know, I won a few, I lost a few, but it really was fun. I noticed that if I used the claw item, I got invaded right away. And then I was pretty much sucked into a duel while I was trying to summon. And then also sometimes when I was running around, I got invaded with absolutely no problem. That was very smooth, so I'm certain that you too will be invaded playing this game. So with all that being said, I do think that this is going to be an excellent way for players who have never played the first game to get to experience it for the first time. I think that that's what the developers were really going for, and I think that they're going to be very successful in that respect. However, for returning players, you really are going to have a very similar experience to what you had before, which is good and bad. If you want to just go back to Lordran and experience it all over again on your new system, now is a great time to do it and a great way to do it. In addition to that, someone like me, it will be great for me to have the opportunity to actually do co-op and PvP, which is something that I didn't get to do on my old system since I no longer have an Xbox Live Gold subscription, but I have the PS Plus. So that's going to be something that it will be an appeal for someone like me who is a returning player. And one more thing, there have been rumors flying around and reports at Fextra Life saying that the new title, Shadows Die Twice, is going to appear at E3 in June. So we're very likely going to learn more just next month. I'm very excited to see what they're working on. Personally, I would love to see a new IP from them. I think that they tend to get bogged down by creating sequel after sequel, and then having a fresh new title and a fresh new feel to work on will be very good for them and good for us as the players. But at the same time, I really love to see a couple of sequels as well, but I think that in my heart of hearts, I'd love to see a new IP. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear your thoughts and know more about your opinions on this. So, it's starting to rain, cats and dogs outside, so I will sign off. Feel free to comment in the section below, like and subscribe if you like more of this, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.